One of the questions we most commonly ask is, how did you know you were a psychic? So I thought I'd just quickly go into that I was born with the ability to see things. I had dreams and experiences all through my childhood. I thought everybody did. When I got older and people talked to me about things being psychic and clairvoyant, I wouldn't talk about it, wasn't it? And they said, well, do you see things when you shut up? I said, everybody does. No, like bits missing in their head or something. So I went into work and I said to people, when you close your eyes, what do you see? Black, red, nothing. What's wrong with these people? They can't see anything. Then I realised that not everybody could see pictures or hear voices or, you know, these sort of strange things that happened through my childhood. I used to go to my room at night, lock myself in because we lived in a two-storey house and everybody locked themselves in because at the end of the war and all sorts of strange people were around. So the first thing I did when I went in my bedroom was check under the bed and all the cupboards before I actually put the light off because we were always, it didn't make any difference, it was still faces on the curtain and still this feeling of a presence in there, you know. And of course it isn't until I'm older that I realised that that was the bedroom they all died in. My grandmother was the one they brought people to die. You know, Auntie so-and-so would be upstairs and then all the children would go off and one day you come back, she'd be gone. And they go, where's Auntie so-and-so? Well, she's gone home, dear, she's fine. And of course, we never got told how they died or invited to the funeral, they just vanished. But it wasn't until I was older that it registered in my head, hang on, all the old aunties used to sleep in this room before it was my bedroom, so it's no wonder there was strange noises and funny dreams and all this sort of thing happening all through that childhood time. It wasn't until I started in a spiritual group in my late 20s that it all sort of made sense to me, and then I sat in a development group and began to understand what it was I was picking up. But one of the things I found was we are all individual. What happens for me does not necessarily happen for you. I had to learn what my feelings meant. You had to be able to read them. Initially when I started reading, if I looked that way it was the past, if I looked ahead it was now, if I looked that way it was the future, so it was like looking up the road. So I used to be able to tell what I was doing. Then I had hand motions. There was one motion I had which meant a week, and then there was another one which went a month, and another one which meant a year. So whoever was working through me, I was there busy deciphering what they were saying as I went along, working out whether it was going to be 3 months before you moved house or a year or whatever. Over time, you develop this sort of language and you don't stop to interpret it anymore. You just let it flow, whereas in the beginning you're going, well, I heard a voice, I smelled a smell, and it's sort of, now it sort of flows like, you just let it roll off you, you're not looking at actually how it's communicated to you. That's how you get it, from smells, from sounds, from impressions, from all sorts of different feelings that you realise are coming through from another frequency and gradually just go with the flow. But I've always felt that God doesn't speak English, French or German, it's a language of pictures. And so of course when you're communicating telepathically with someone, instead of lapsing into their Greek or Italian language, they put the pictures in your head and you interpret it through your own figure of speech. I have had occasions where other languages have tried to come in, but you find you block them because they're not familiar to you. And I think, oh, I sound stupid, I'm talking some strange gobbledygook, even though the other person may say, oh, that makes sense to me. So you find that you are inclined sometimes to sort of stand in the way and not let it come out. So over the years through going to spiritual meetings, I learned how to use my gift. The experience of being with other people. If those people weren't prepared to be there, you couldn't use what you have. When you're doing a reading for someone, that other person's got to be there and they've got to give you feedback and all this sort of thing. And when we come to something like this, it's the energy of the people that are present that actually creates this energy field, which then enables us to work with that energy. And you do find if people come in that are anti, who come there deliberately to set you up, which sometimes they do, it can knock the energy around. I've seen people go through the crowd and say, you're a non-believer, would you mind leaving? Because that they can sense that that person's negativity blocks them, whereas we've got to the stage now where you can be as non-believer as you like. And what I found was really funny is when someone comes in and you give them a really strong message and stiffen up, and then someone will say, oh, my husband came along because he was going to prove you, or, you know, a load of hocus pocus, and you gave him this such a powerful message that you had to say that that person was right and they were totally shocked. So I think it's lovely that people do come that have no beliefs and can't really accept what's happening, and they actually do get some kind of confirmation, which is really good. But of course, when we do nights like this, usually everybody's already interested, aware of what's going on, and just there to get as much as they can from it, which is really lovely. We don't want to get people who come just to set us up anymore, which they used to. So that's really nice. Anyway, I'll leave it to Annette to wish you all a good evening, and thank you very much so much for being here. We've had a lovely time. I hope you've all got something out of it.